Well, every once in a while, you end up crashing a kite a lot more severely than you ever expected, and you might even break a spine like this. Well, this spine is bamboo, and I made it a couple of years ago, but it flies well until this. So I'm going to replace the spine. It's a pretty easy job, quick, and pretty simple to do. So I don't have to throw the kite away. I can salvage the kite just replacing the spine. Now, I could replace it with something more durable like carbon fiber, either a flat piece like this or a round carbon fiber rod such as this. But I like bamboo, so I'm going to stick with bamboo. And the first thing I did was I made a new spine. Now, when I make a spine, I like the spine to be more flexible towards the nose of the kite up in here so that I can bend it when I'm flying the kite and keep the bend in there so the kite spins well. Now, what I use to put this kite together is contact cement. And contact cement is what I normally use because it creates a very strong bond between almost any two materials. And in this case, a strong bond between the spine and the sail. And the sail is a polypropylene gift wrap film that I made the sail from. So to separate the spine from the sail, I'm going to use acetone. I bought this at Ace Hardware, but you can get it at almost any store that sells paint. I put a little bit in this squeeze bottle here, so it's easier to apply. And what I do is simply, the first thing I do though, is I cut any areas that have been taped to the spine. I cut the tape away, or cut the tape so it's free from the spine. And the same with any place where the bridle, or in this case, the bow, I tied the bow to the spine. I've cut that. I'll cut the lower bridle connection point here and the tape that I have there to reinforce it. And I tried an experiment of relocating the lower bridle point a little lower, and I didn't care for that as much, so I'll cut that off. And at the tail, I have a little piece of tape here. I'll cut that off as well. Now, once that's done, I just put a little bit of acetone right along one edge of the spine, all the way along, just a little bit. And then I let it sit for just a short time to allow the acetone to melt or dissolve the dried contact cement. And then after it's set a while, doesn't have to be too long, I begin prying off the spine from the sail. And normally it's a very quick process, and sometimes the glue's a little bit stronger in places and I need to put another dab or two of acetone there. But other than that, it's a pretty simple job. Now the beauty is that I don't have to remake this kite. And the kite flies great. So all I need to do now is make sure that I put in the new spine in a way that keeps the kite true to itself. So there we have the broken spine. I'm going to throw that in the trash. Don't need that baby. Now I'm going to install the spine, and to do that I'm going to use a tool that's really handy. It's a piece of wax paper or anything like this material here that you peel off of a envelope like a FedEx envelope or a priority mail envelope that you peel off before you close and seal the envelope. This material is also very useful for the same thing. It doesn't allow the glue to stick to it. Wax paper, same way. So I'm going to use wax paper and I'm going to put contact cement on the spine and also on the sail, because in using contact cement, the cement has to be applied to the two surfaces, to both surfaces that are going to be bonded together. And oddly, it seems kind of weird in a way, but not only does the glue have to be applied to those surfaces, it has to dry. And then it's put together when it's dry. Now I use Weldwood contact cement. And I've used it for years and I think it does a good job, so I continue to use it. I'm just going to paint this on the side of the spine that I'm going to put onto this sail. And then I'm going to set it aside to dry for a minute or two. And then I'm going to paint a little bit of contact cement also on the sail itself. Now, you can see I'm not very careful about this. You can be, probably I should be, but it doesn't seem to change how the kite flies if I'm really neat with my glue or if I'm not. So I just leave that on there for a few minutes, let it dry. And quite often I am too impatient and don't want it to wait until it dries, so I'll attach it beforehand. The downside of doing that is that the bond strength is not as strong when you do it, when you put the two pieces together before they're dry. Well, when I do this, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put wax paper over the majority of the glue I put on the sail. I'm doing this to prevent an accidental bonding of the spine to the sail before I'm ready. I lift up the bow because I put the spine under the bow, and then I attach only the very tip, the nose of the spine to the nose of the sail. That's it. Now, I then smooth the kite sail as best I can and lay it on the wax paper right above where it's going to be bonded to the sail. Then I hold the kite sail at the nose and pull away the wax paper, and then position the spine and press it down onto the sail. Now that is done. All I need to do now is retie the bow to the spine and reconnect the lower bridle connection point, which I will do, and this will be ready to go. I'll probably reinforce the nose with a piece of tape like I did originally, and probably I'll put a piece of tape at the tail. I normally do that as well. But I hope this helps. If you have a kite that you broke, you don't have to throw them away. You can fix them. They're pretty easy to fix and pretty quick, as you can see.